Hello, YouTube family. This is Teddy B, Teddy Believes. And tonight I want to talk to you about is closure and letting go. Sometimes you just have to let things go or just run this course and allow God to handle it or whatever religion or spiritual beliefs you believe in, whether you believe in the universe, Buddhism, Allah, it doesn't make a difference. Sometimes you just have to let things go. I would use myself as an example to try to help someone that needs help. My channel is really dedicated to mental health to help everyone out. Men, women, everyone out. The point that I'm trying to make here is sometimes things don't deserve any closure. Sometimes you don't need closure. In certain situations, you just don't need closure. Just being honest. I'll use myself as an example. I remember dealing with a young woman, from the time I was 17, on and off relationship, all the way to my mid-20s. And the point that I'm making here is it was a tit for tat relationship. I made mistakes. She did her dirt and made her mistakes. Then when I was younger, I made young, ignorant mistakes, put myself in incarceration somewhere I didn't want to be. Ended up getting out. We got to dealing with each other again when I got out. And the point I'm making is here, I ended up getting a real bad short end of the stick when I was really ready to commit and actually try to be with one woman, which was my fault at the end of the day, because a person only does what you allow them to do. That's why I don't believe in giving the benefit of the doubt and things of that nature. When you know something's off and feel off, you just gotta let it go. Some things that's broken can't be fixed. You can't fix everything. And some things doesn't deserve closure. If that person crossed the line, whether romantic relationship or family or relationships far as with friends or associates, or it could even be at a corporate job, warehouse job, whatever you're doing. Medical field doesn't make a difference. Everybody's circumstances is different, of course. But the point I'm making is some things doesn't need a full-blown explanation. You know what I mean? Some things just don't need an explanation. It's what it is. Your actions gonna speak volumes. Words, yeah, it has power, but in the same token, the words doesn't mean anything without change, without action behind the words. And I will honestly say that I wasted years of my life trying to satisfy and please someone that was clearly, it got to a certain point that this person, she was over me. And that just real talk. And it was a blow to my ego. It was a blow to my pride. Of course, heartbroken. And it was something that I couldn't accept. It was something like when Michael Jordan on The Last Dance, when at the end he was talking about going for the 7th championship after they three-peated for the second time. And he said that was something that he couldn't get over. Like, he wanted to go for that 7th ring, but because of eternal issues with the front office, wanting to break everything up, which was, it was very unsmart, if you ask me, if the whole team wanted to come back. But that's besides the point. I'm using that as an example. Like, I just couldn't get over it that she didn't feel the same way years prior when we was on and off and things of that nature. Yeah, she didn't still have that same infatuation and lust or love for me that she had when she met me. And so many things end up happening in the process of that I couldn't get over. I couldn't get over her, and I couldn't get over the fact that she moved on and wanted other people. She wanted to do her thing. And as I matured, I have realized I have to let that go, because if you don't let that go, you just gonna, like myself, you just gonna be stuck in place. You're gonna be stuck in that same time zone, that same era. You still stuck in whatever year you was with that, dealing with that person. You still stuck in 2010 or 2013, whatever year it could have been. For some people that's older, it could have been 1985. Some people could have been 1975. Some other people could have been 1997. Some people could have been the year 2000. But my point that I'm making is you're gonna be stuck in that same time frame, that same era, like a twilight zone. And that's the worst predicament to put yourself in, to be honest. That's the worst predicament to put yourself in. You don't never want to put yourself in a position where you just stuck mentally. You still stuck in that same zone. And that's just something that I advise, especially younger cats that's 16, younger men that's 16, 17, 18, 21, 25. Like, please don't make the mistake of that I made, being constantly stuck, because at the end of the day, it ended up setting me back. Because when you still stuck in that same time frame, it causes you to be stagnant. You'll wonder why certain things is not going right, or you ain't progressed to this level, and it's not just financially. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally, mature. And that's something that I really had to dig deep in myself. It took a while, but it's something I had to dig deep in myself. Like, sometimes you have to accept things for what it is. And not just the bottom line. Sometimes you just have to accept things for what it is. Like if you at a job that keeps skipping you on promotions, where you know you're a very great worker, punctual, or detail oriented, you a team player, but you one of the people that get the short end of the stick, the person that do less or the bare minimum, or the person that's the Randall. I'm talking about Randall off recess. That was always telling on TJ and Spinelli and all the rest of the crew. Vincent, all the rest of the crew. Like, you'll have certain people that get elevated past you that necessarily don't put in none of the work you do. And sometimes you just have to accept what it is. I'm not saying accept just being a pushover or anything of that nature, but I'm saying that sometimes you have to sometimes you just have to not get angry on it. That's for what it is. Like, you just gotta allow something for what it is, to let it be, and just make your next moves. Don't be bitter. Just go and try to strive and continuously get better. And that's why I have to constantly teach myself, like, some things in life don't be fair, or some obstacles is harder than the other ones, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. It's a marathon, like the turtle in the race versus the rabbit. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep going at the end of the day. Whether you're dealing with a relationship with a significant other, whether you're dealing with problems as far as friends or associates or a job, sometimes you just have to let it go. The person's actions was the closure. So if your girl cheated on you, that was the closure. What more closure do you need? Just being all the way honest. If you've been at your job for 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, and you get baby peanuts for raises, little 10-cent raise here, 25-cent raise here, but everybody else getting promoted, getting way higher salaries yearly, maybe it's your time to move on. Maybe it's your time to start your own business. Maybe it's your time to start your own YouTube. Maybe it's your time to, if you got skills in drawing, maybe it's your time to go to make drawings. Maybe whatever passion that you have, or whatever skill that you have, or maybe it's just your time to go to another job location that will appreciate you, that will actually give you that promotion within a year or two, that will actually appreciate having a hard worker and somebody punctual, somebody that's a team player, somebody that helps trains others, someone that's not a spiteful individual that want to see somebody fail. Because you have a lot of people that want to see people fail. They be in sheep's clothing, but in the back of their mind, they telling a newer person things that would make them look bad for that can possibly get terminated